Hey students, this is Mrs. Tyler. Today we are going to discuss the Louisiana Purchase. This is Unit 2, Notes 3. The first chance for the United States to expand in the era of manifest destiny was into the territory west of the Mississippi River, known as Louisiana. The whole thing was known as Louisiana, and it was owned by France. They had obtained it from Spain, and it's kind of had gone back and forth for a little while, but at this point, it was owned by France. By 1800, thousands of farmers had settled in territories west of the Appalachian Mountains and were using the Mississippi River to transport their crops to the port at New Orleans. Thomas Jefferson offered to buy New Orleans from France. France offered all of Louisiana instead. We just wanted to maintain that port city so that our trade would never be disrupted, and this way we could just make sure that was always ours. So instead, though, France offers to say double the price and we'll give you the whole territory. So Thomas Jefferson was the third president. He's the president who makes the Louisiana Purchase. And in our notes packet, we highlighted the borders of the Louisiana Territory so that we could identify that on a map. And then we wrote some of these facts inside of that part of the map in our notes. We purchased it in 1803. We bought it from France. We paid $15 million for it, and it doubles the size of the United States. And then we drew this line, this route from about right here, which would be St. Louis, Missouri, all the way along the Missouri River, northwest, and then up into the Dakotas and across the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific Ocean. That was the route that the explorers took. And let's talk about these explorers after we talk about the conversation that Congress had. Should we purchase this or not? Okay, most Americans thought the offer from France was too good to refuse. However, not everybody approved. Some felt that the U.S. should turn France down. The Constitution did not give the president power to buy land, and this kind of bothered Jefferson. He didn't want to do something that was counter to the Constitution. But those who were in favor of buying this land were excited because it was less than 3 cents an acre. It would double the size of the country. It would completely control the Mississippi River, not just the port of New Orleans. And we'd be able to get all of this without fighting a war or having any bloodshed. The other element that Jefferson was worried about was that if Napoleon from France is so desperate to sell this land and we pass it up, who knows what other country might take him up on that deal, and then we have that country ruling right next door to us. Okay, people who are against the purchase argued that $15 million is a lot of money. It was too much land to govern, that it would be really difficult for the United States to make sure that we kept peace and order in that wilderness territory as well. Some of the existing states had representatives who didn't really want to share power, knowing that as more and more Americans settled further west, they would apply for statehood, and with each new state, then there's more representatives in Congress sharing power. And many felt it was unconstitutional. Some people argued that the Founding Fathers didn't put anything at all in the Constitution about the government buying land from anyone, so they argued that perhaps that meant that the Founding Fathers intended for us to stay the same size forever and never grow and expand. So that was opposite of this idea that some people had, that manifest destiny, that it was our right and our duty to spread democracy across the continent. But in the end, Jefferson didn't want to miss out on this historical opportunity, so in 1803 the Senate voted to ratify the Louisiana Purchase. We need to know what's out there, though, and that's the route that we put on the map. This group of explorers is going to use that route to survey and see what's out there. In 1804, President Jefferson ordered his private secretary, Meriwether Lewis, to lead an expedition into the new Louisiana Territory. Meriwether Lewis chose his friend William Clark to help him lead the 45-member expedition group. So you can see St. Louis, Missouri, and then along the Missouri River up into the Dakotas and out west to the Pacific. is the route that they took. The Lewis and Clark expedition started in St. Louis, Missouri, and followed the Missouri River to the Rocky Mountains. From there, the explorers made their way to the Pacific Ocean. There's William Clark. He wrote a lot of journals. He outlined, he said day by day what they experienced and the things that they ran into. He even drew sketches of many of the plants and animals that they came across, and also collected some to send back to the president so he could see for himself some of the things that they encountered. Okay, in the winter of 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition had reached North Dakota. They stayed the winter with the Mandan Indian tribe, and a French fur trader named Toussaint Charbonneau joined their group. He brought his 16-year-old wife, Sacagawea, and their infant son with them. Sacagawea had been kidnapped from her Shoshone tribe as a 12-year-old girl. She would help ultimately guide the expedition through the Rocky Mountains and prove to be invaluable as a translator to the other native tribes that the group encountered. So we'll define Sacagawea. She was a 16-year-old young woman when she and her husband joined the Corps of Discovery, and she became its guide and translator for the entire expedition. And she carried her baby on her back for pretty much the entire time. So we watched this little TED Ed video. I'll have to link it in the Google Classroom for you. What we get out of the Lewis and Clark expedition is a mapped route to the Pacific. We get they established relationships with Indians. They brought back information about the West and its people, and they helped prepare the way for more explorers and settlers. And then we filled in those two events on the timeline. 1803 is when the Louisiana Purchase was made. 1805, Lewis and Clark reached the Pacific. That's the end of our notes for today. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.